Welcome to ModelSheet. ModelSheet is an innovative authoring environment for business models. This demonstration presents some capabilities of ModelSheet for managing worksheets and workbooks. In ModelSheet, you specify the general layout of each worksheet, and ModelSheet automates layout details. For example, for each table, you specify which variables appear and in what order. You specify how the tables are positioned, for example, stacked vertically or side by side. You can put titles in many places, and you can apply some advanced display styles. ModelSheet automates the remaining layout details. This greatly simplifies authoring and editing of models. We'll illustrate these features of ModelSheet with the following fictional story. Your group must make a spreadsheet for next week's board meeting. On the morning of the meeting, the president asks you to make some changes by 2 p.m. First, extend the model from 1 year to 2. Keep the first workbook and make a second one with several more changes. Time should be in quarters with annual sums. Tables should be in outline form. This means that sums in tables are placed above the items being summed. All input data should be on one worksheet. Here is the original model you provided for the meeting. The workbook has 4 worksheets: an income statement, a brief balance sheet, a sheet with details of the sales model, and a sheet with details of cost of goods. The dark blue cells are input data and they are spread throughout the workbook. We want to extend the time frame of the model from 1 year to 2. Go to the left column to the section Types and click on Model Time. This is the time series used in this model. Click on Edit and change the end time to the end of fiscal year 02. Checking any worksheet, we see that the time now extends for 24 months from left to right. Next, we want to make a second workbook with time in quarters and yearly sums. We want to link the old and new workbook so the new workbook inherits future edits from the old one. This way, we need make shared edits only in the old notebook. Go to the tab Overview, click on Copy To. We have a choice, you see, between copying sheets and linking sheets. The linking is what enables the new workbook to get information from the old book. So click on Link Sheets. Let's name this workbook Quarterly. We are now in Workbook Quarterly. Go to the Overview tab, display the list of styles, find the style for quarters and move it to the right, the style for yearly sums and move it to the right, and the style for outline layout of tables and move it to the right. If we look, for example, at the sales detail sheet, we can see that the variables are all listed with time in quarters, with annual sums, and the table is in outline format. For example, you can see that the total revenue is at the top of the list of all the products that are to be summed. The original workbook, named Master, still has time in months. Now let's place all input variables in one worksheet in the new workbook. We will use the fact that the input variables are already marked as input by being included in the category named input. We can view this category by going to the left column near the bottom and finding the category input. You see all the input variables in the model are listed in the right-hand column. Now return to the Workbook Quarterly, to the Overview tab, click on New Sheet, and let's name the sheet Inputs. The sheet type is Categories and Variables. We then go to the blue table on that sheet and insert the category Input so that all the variables in that input category will appear on the sheet. Let's also insert one blank row between each pair of variables in that table so it's easier to read. Now we can preview the sheet and we see that all the input variables are here and there's a blank row between each pair of variables. When we create an Excel file, the entire workbook will get its input from this worksheet. We need to make 2 Excel workbooks for the meeting. Let's make the quarterly workbook. Go to the Overview tab, click on Make Excel. When the file is ready, we have a choice of saving it or opening it. So let's first save it, and then let's open it. It inherited 2 years of time from the parent workbook. It has time in quarters with annual sums, and the tables are an outline form. You can see the outline form on the sales detail sheet where the totals are on the top of the tables. These 2 characteristics were not inherited from the parent workbook. All the input variables are on the sheet Inputs. However, the true input data is still the monthly data, so ModelSheet put the true blue input cells on a sheet it calls Default Input. The monthly input data is blue. This concludes this demonstration of some worksheet management capabilities of ModelSheet. Let's summarize what we did in the demonstration. We extended the model from 1 year to 2 for both workbooks. We kept the first workbook and made a new one that has time in quarters with annual sums, tables in outline form, and all input data on one worksheet. The second workbook inherits edits from the parent workbook, and it has features of its own. ModelSheet's innovative management of workbooks makes some operations easier and makes some new operations possible. How does it do this? ModelSheet separates model logic from layout, and general layout from layout details. By comparison, conventional spreadsheets use layout to capture model logic. ModelSheet preserves the use of visual layout in the authoring process. And ModelSheet delivers reports in polished and familiar conventional spreadsheets instead of trying to display spreadsheets. If you would like more information or you would like a free trial of ModelSheet, please sign up on our website. We invite you to try ModelSheet as a free service on the web and see if you agree that ModelSheet is the next step in the evolution of spreadsheets. Thank you.